Hi everyone, welcome back. So let's continue this on with the another series, which is our responses to the looks of others often involve unjustified associations, whether positive or negative. So let's see what this series hold for us. Let's start with the four spaces. The second case related to an accusation in 2020 by the UK radio journalist Libby Purves against the BBC. Purves claims that for presenters on both television and radio, older women were under greater pressure than men of a similar age to appear younger. Since women are judged on their looks, and part of what it is to be attractive for women is to look youthful. In an opinion piece for the Radio Times, she wrote, Sue Barker has been banned from a question of sports after 23 years. She is 64, more willingly Jenny Murray and Jane Garvey depart from Women's Hour A70 and 56. They are replaced by Emma Barnett, a mere 35. What is this? Are we written off as old trots while men become reversed elder? Sacred patriarch, silver foxes. So, in this passage, the author is talking about the second case, where the ages also matter, not only look. The ages also matter. Here, the author is giving the example of the two lady, which is Jenny Murray and the Jane Garvey, that they are replaced by a 35-year-old girl. Why it in the case of the women's only? Whether it's same case for the men's, they are considered as silver foxes and scared patriarchs. So, the title of this passage is Brief about the second case. And what we can take, we just summarize this passage that the the injustice are also in the form of ages, not only looks. And let's moving toward the next passage. In both cases, lookism seems entangled with sex or gender discrimination, and in the second case, with age discrimination too. This might provoke the thought that appearance discrimination is problematic only when it is entwined with some other form of discrimination, and that there is no reason to be concerned about it when it's occur on its own. But that seems clearly false. Appearance discriminations matter in its own right, and indeed operates in many of the same way as other form of discrimination we are committed to fighting, such as racial discrimination, just as prejudices influence behavior consciously and non-consciously in racial discrimination. So, too, they operate in conscious and unconscious ways in lookism. Our responses to the looks of others often involve unjustified association, whether positive or negative, between appearance feature and character traits. These associations may function as implicit biases or sometimes take the form of stereotypes that are endorsed with varying degree of unreflectiveness. So basically, this passage is trying to say that there are not only the lookisms or age discrimination, there is a racial discrimination also, which influence behavior consciously and non-consciously. But all these cases involve unjustified. So, what we can take from what is the title of this whole passage? Title should be Injustice in form of discrimination is injustice. And what we can take from here is that, or we better keep the title of this passage is any kind of discrimination is injustice. And what we can take from here is that first, appearance discrimination is problematic only when it is entwined with some other form of discrimination. But it is not true, but it is false, but seems clearly false. This is also add on this ever verb sentence. What and another one is that appearance discrimination matters in its own rights and indeed operates in many of the same way as other form of discrimination. We are committed to fighting. And also the racial discrimination. Racial discrimination operates in conscious and unconscious way in lookism. And functions these association function as implicit biases. So let's moving toward the next spaces. Women especially are often seen as lazy or lacking in self-discipline if they are perceived as overweight. But even though lifestyle choices make a difference to shape the hunger we experience and how much we weigh are largely determined by metabolism or physiology. So, the idea that all or even most people with a heavier weight lack self control is unsustainable when brought into contrast with the evidence. In her book Unshrinking How to Fight Fatophobia 2024, Kate Money conclude that fatness has a strong genetic basis. At least 70% of the variance in body mass that we find in human population is likely due to genetics. So this passage is talking about gaining weight in women. So it is considered that or it is said that why the women are overweight because they are lazy, lack of discipline. But but Kate Manny written in her book Unshrinking How to Fight Fatophobia that it's not the case. The fatness is 70% due to our genetics. So what we can take from here, what's the title of this whole passage is a theory behind overweight in women. And what we can take from here is that weight are largely determined by metabolism or physiology. So, in Unshrinking How to Fight Fatophobia, Kate Maroney concludes that fatness has strong genetic basis, at least 70%. At least 70% of the variance in the body mass that we find in the human population is likely due to the genetics. So let's moving toward the next species. Of course, it is not just selectors evaluating qualifications who are prone to biases. Good looks tend to be beneficial in doing a range of jobs because of how others respond to them. Viewers may prefer to watch attractive news readers deliver the TV news, perhaps in part because they associate their appearance with desirable character traits, such as trustworthiness. Customer may be put off interacting with employees they regard as fat because they find their appearance unattractive or judge them to be ill disciplined. It's for reason of the short that good looks can be genuine qualification for working in customer facing roles, even though there is a further question about whether it's justifiable to count them. So this passage is basically saying that what this passage is trying to say that unknowingly there is a qualification tagged in some roles like a TV anchor or customer facing job roles that the company prefer a good looking women. Why? Because of the customer and the viewers. So the title of this passage is Good Looking Qualification. So what we can take from here is that first, the first line is that not just selector evaluating qualification who are prone to biases, but no, that's not this line. I think we can take a good looks tends to be beneficial in doing a range of job because of how others responses to them. And another one is that viewers may prefer to watch attractive news readers to deliver news. Perhaps it's in part because they associate their appearance with desirable character traits such as trustworthiness. And the customer put off interacting with employees regardless of fact. So, so here the conclusion is the good looks can be genuine qualification for working in customer face roles, whether it is justifiable or not. So let's moving toward the next one. Qualifications that arise in this way are often referred to as reaction qualification, meaning qualifications produced by customer reaction to employee characteristic. As a result, even selectors who do not share the customer biases have a reason to appoint people with their customers' preferred feature and to reject those with features their customer dislike. In contrast, when a technical skill is a qualification for a job, its role as a qualification, and indeed, its status as a skill doesn't generally rely on others' reaction to it. All that matters is that it is deployed in making a product that people want or providing a service they need. For example, the skills of giving competent legal advice is a qualification for being a lawyer, regardless of how others respond to it. So this passage is saying the two things. The first is that a reaction qualification. What is a reaction qualifications? So reaction qualification is that the selector should select the candidate on the basis of the customer preferred feature, not the requirement. And the another one is that a technical qualification. That if if the lawyer for the legal advice, we need a lawyer who are qualified as a lawyer, not their looks, where they don't need to, what I can say that, where they don't need to interact, they don't need to care about who the customer preferred or not. So these two are differences given here, how to select the candidate and how to qualify the candidate. So the title of this passage is Qualification of Candidate on the Basis of Reaction Qualification and the Technical Qualification. So firstly, what we can take are reaction qualifications. So the reaction qualification meaning qualification produced by the customer reaction to employees' characteristics. That's point we can take. Another one is a technical skill qualifications, which is a qualification for a job role to job. Its role as a qualification and its status as a skill doesn't generally rely on others' reaction to it. Okay, that's all for this passage. Let's moving toward the next and last one. In addition to association between heavier weight and laziness or lack of self control, people routinely make other appearance related associations. Short men are often regarded as prickly or prone to aggression on the basis that they have inferiority complexes. Facial scarring and other so called facial disfigurement are often associated with unpleasantness or nastiness. Think of Hollywood villains. Again, these associations doesn't stand up against the evidence. When reaction qualifications are rooted in unjustified association, is it fair to count them? We don't think it's morally acceptable to count reaction qualification when they are grounded in, say, customers' prejudice against women or member of a particular race. So why think it's morally acceptable to count such qualification when they are grounded in customer prejudices against a particular appearance feature? So basically, this passage is trying to say that we are given a title to our every features. If someone is overweight, lazy, they're considered as fat and all, their appearance related issue. When someone is short, we also given them some names like prickling, prone to aggressions, And according to someone facial scaring, we also just given them some names. And just there is reaction qualification, the term which already heard in the ever passes, that we just qualify someone according to the customers. So, so this passage is saying that all these are injustice, which is not considered as a qualification of selecting someone or not. But don't we need to change this? Why we consider because of the customer? So that's the question arises here. So the title of this passage is Do the Customer no, the title of this passage is Different Names Given for Different Appearance. And what we can take from here is that have your weight and laziness or lack of self control, people routinely make other appearance related association. Short men. Short men are often regarded as prickly or prone to aggression on the basis of they have inferiority complexes. Facial scarring and other so called facial disfigurement are often associated with unpleasantness or nastiness. And not and we have to just summarize this passage. We don't need to accept to count reaction qualifications when they are grounded in according to the customer preferences. So that's all for the today. See you all with the next series. As of now, have a great day.